What started as a simple dream for a family vacation quickly spiraled into a frustrating power struggle. I am a 31-year-old male, and my 33-year-old wife and I were planning a trip to my home country with our 3 daughters. Our goals were simple: visit family, enjoy great food, and take a much-needed break from our daily routines. The trouble began during a casual video call with my mother and grandmother, where I mentioned wanting to take everyone to the beach. It wasn't a formal plan, just an idea. A few weeks later, my wife and I found a beautiful, quiet beachfront Airbnb. Since I have extensive experience working in that country, I knew the area well and intentionally avoided the chaotic, tourist-heavy resort cities nearby. I sent the listing to my mom just to get her opinion. The next day, I came home from a long shift to an aggressive phone call from my father, who is currently living in the United States while the rest of our family is back home. Out of nowhere, he asserted that our chosen Airbnb was dangerous, declared that we wouldn't be staying there, and announced he had already instructed my brother to book a completely different property. Confused and blindsided, I called my mom and brother. They claimed my choice was too far from major tourist attractions and offered to pay for their preferred property as a gift. I told them money wasn't the issue was that everyone was making executive decisions for my household without consulting me. The situation deteriorated further when I mentioned that my wife and I wanted to invite some of her family members. Suddenly, my mom and brother bombarded me with excuses about limited space, difficult transportation, and uncomfortable sleeping arrangements. It became painfully obvious that they simply did not want my wife's family there. My wife was deeply hurt, having genuinely tried to include everyone, and I was furious that our vacation had been hijacked. In an effort to keep the peace, my wife and I compromised and agreed to stay at the property my family preferred. It wasn't worth the fight. But days later, my brother messaged me saying the price had spiked, so they were backing out of booking it. We were back to square one when we resumed looking at alternatives and mentioned that my wife's sister might join us during a break from her university. The exact same objections started all over again. That was my breaking point. I lost my temper and canceled the beach portion of the trip entirely. I told my family I was not going to spend my hard-earned vacation managing their demands or excluding my wife's family just to make them happy. The fallout was immediate. My dad called me in a rage, claiming my mom told him I was cutting contact. He hurled wild accusations at me, blaming me for unrelated family issues including my brother dropping out of university, and insisted I hated my brother. He also claimed the beach trip had been his planned gift all along.